In this video, I'm going to share with you the amazing things that happen when a family sits down for a family meal and has meaningful conversations. My name is Mark Jala, and I'm the founder of Cook Talk Love. This video is a segment from a two-part video series, a much more comprehensive series that you can get from our website, cooktalklove.com, or from our Facebook page. I hope you enjoy this video and it serves you in a way that brings you peaceful, loving, and passionate family relationships. Enjoy. The power of the family meal. This is something that I've always felt very strongly about. When you look at all the times that we spend around food and around other people, whether it's the first date and you're going out for a coffee, a lunch, or a dinner, all the hoopla that's associated around Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. Look around, business lunches, business dinners. So much of what we do with other people is centered around food. Generally, we have to eat anyway, so we take that time with other people, and the relationships that happen around the meal. I've always felt that there was a power to that food. There's a lot of studies that happen that have been done about the family meal, and probably the leader of those studies comes from Columbia University and their organization called CASA, C-A-S-A. It's the Center for Alcohol and Substance Abuse. And what they've determined is that when families have meals 5 to 7 times per week, and generally when we talk about meals, the main focus is on dinners, having the family dinner. That's the best time for everybody to come together after school, after work, and to have a time together. And the studies show that 5 to 7 times per week have tremendous advantages, not just for the parents or the partners, but also on the children. Children are less likely to use drugs and alcohol. They are less. They have a higher self-esteem and social skills. There's better resilience in difficult times, and parents have stronger relationships. One of the key things that we're going to be finding out is through studies, and one of the external relationships is that a lot of divorces occur because of a lack of communication. They're not talking. And yes, even around a meal, if you don't do the proper kinds of talking, it's going to have a negative effect. So what we're talking about is having the right kind of conversations, the right kind of talks during a meal to enhance the family relationships. So we're talking about a few simple changes. When I grew up, we all sat around the family dinner table. We had family dinners. So family dinner is mandatory. And this is something that in this day and age, I know that there's a lot of folks who are moving away from that. They're finding other things to do. They're doing other activities with the children, with community activities, church activities, a variety of different things, and they're not having the family dinner as often as other generations used to have. I always felt that the power was in the food, and basically I discovered through my research I was wrong. That the power is in the communication, and if we don't have time to communicate, that's where a lot of troubles in a relationship can start to occur. So the question is, if it's in the communication, what do we communicate? What do we have to talk about? And ultimately, we have to ask the question: what is needed? And this is one of the things most people who even now who do have dinners, a lot of times it's, they just wing it. They just have, they talk whatever's on their mind. And generally it's very surface related conversations. What did you do at work today? What did you do at school today? And it's very surface level. It's not getting to the root causes or things that can help that relationship. So this is what we're going to be talking about. And these external relationships. And in writing my book, when I started, it was originally going to be about the power of food, and that's where doing more research, I realized that I was wrong, that the power was not in the food, but it's in the communication. So if we're going to be communicating, what are we going to have to address? What are we going to be talking about? And the more I dug into it, I started looking at what are problems in relationships, what are problems, what are the causes of divorce, what are the causes of conflict in family relationships. And I've discovered that there are three trends and these trends have been building for a number of time. I mean, this is things that started back in the late 1960s, in the 70s and 80s, and the children from that time are adults now, and we're starting to see the impact of that. And so I've identified three particular trends that we're going to be looking at. The first is a breakdown in family unity. The second, decreased empathy, a narcissism epidemic. And the third, shiny object syndrome and multitasking. These trends are things that if we don't know about, or if we don't address, whether we acknowledge them or not, they still exist. These trends still exist. And the impact of these trends have an impact on our relationships. From the moment we wake up to an alarm clock waking us up in the morning, to the time we go to bed, from watching TV, interacting with coworkers or friends and relatives, all of the impact of these trends comes through from all of our relationships and the things that we see, what we observe, and who we talk with. So how do we address these trends? Well, we need a regular time to talk, and we need to be discussing the proper topics. So what is that regular time? The best time is mealtime. The family dinner is the single best opportunity to discuss these external influences and build happy family relationships. And what we have to talk about is we have to talk about these influences.